Duke superstar Kyle Filipowski was injured this weekend when fans of the Wake Forest basketball team made contact with the 7-footer while storming the court following a Demon Deacons home victory. This immediately prompted every college basketball commentator with an X account to call for a ban on rushing the court. But let's pull back for a moment of perspective. Fans storming the basketball court or the football field in celebration is a time-honored collegiate tradition, one that showcases a level of passion unique to the college experience. 2 years ago, I watched Tennessee fans rush Neyland after beating Alabama for the first time in Nick Saban's tenure. They tore down the goalpost, threw it in the Tennessee River, and administrators, to their credit, were overjoyed. Michigan beat the Buckeyes for the first time in 8 tries, creating a sea of maize and blue in the country's largest football stadium. I would have been offended by anything less. Contrast that spirit with that of your favorite professional team, and you'll find the latter lacking. But instances such as this at Wake, where behavior is obviously reckless and borderline intentional, it risks ruining the experience for all. It makes the decision easier for ADs and administrators and rooms full of attorneys to take the easy way out and eliminate the practice altogether. My question is, since when do we always take the easy way out? There was a time when college students could join their classmates on the field of play in the occasional celebration of a milestone victory without incident. What happened? What happened is we ask too little of our young adults these days. What happened is we've watered down our punishments to the point that they are ineffective at deterring lawless behavior. Here is the solution in its simplest form. Fans who leave the stands to celebrate on the court that then make physical contact or even engage in verbal altercations with members of the opposing school should be punished as severely as possible on an individual case-by-case basis. A blanket ban on court rushing writ large will only further dilute the passion of collegiate sports at a critical time when that eagerness is needed most. Blaine, join me here.
Good job, Dave.
What do you think? We saw this weekend.
Yeah.
Great game between Duke, Wake Forest. First of all, I had Duke plus 2.5. Looked like it was going to hit.
Tough.
Duke gets the ball, last with 12, 14 seconds, something like that, comes down. Turnover. That was already going to be one of my worst of the weekend, that they couldn't even end the game on getting a shot off. Turn the ball over. Wake comes down, hits their field goals. The plus 2.5 doesn't hit. Forget all that. Whatever. 1.8 seconds left. They throw the ball in the front court. Filipowski is injured, leaving the court as Wake fans rush the court. Do you think this is a practice that should be eliminated altogether?
No, I don't, and I do agree with you. And it's some of the best memories when it comes to basketball, not even only basketball, in sports or fans storming the field. This is on the administration. This is who this is on. And I think it kind of bleeds into everywhere because you go back, this isn't the first incident this has happened. There's been many incidences when we see players and fans when it comes to altercations. We saw an Alabama receiver this year do it. But it's the administration's job to get security, during the entire week. Whenever you play a team who's highly ranked or this and that, you have meetings throughout the week of what you're going to do if you win this football game. All right? How are we going to take care of? Because look, at this point, Duke comes to Wake Forest. Duke is in your hands. Their team, their coaches, their players, their staff, they are in your hands. It is your job to hire security. It is your job to get the players off the basketball court. This is complete failure from the administration for Wake Forest. And I do agree, but it's going to be hard. All right? When we talk about punishments, one, to even find these kids.
Yeah.
All right? They even find them in this massive sea of people. And two, there's no ill will, in my opinion, when it comes to this kid running on the court. I don't look at this kid and like, oh, well, he went out to run into Philip Hinikowski or whatever his name is from Duke. No, this kid's probably drunk, right? Drunk.
Well, that's another problem.
Storming a court, all right? And if you know it's one, stop alcohol sales when it comes to SEC, good luck. Two, it's the administration's job to have these kids under control.
Okay, you made a couple points in there. I want to get to all of them. So it does seem like the past couple seasons, and it's not just basketball, we've seen a lot on football too, that we've seen incidents more and more frequently, right? Not necessarily with something this severe. I mean, this is going to get a lot of attention because Duke is one of the biggest brands in college basketball, and this is the superstar on the team. And at this point, we don't even know the extent of his injury. Hopefully it's not that serious. But we certainly have seen, even in the Tennessee-Alabama game game that I was referencing as a positive, we saw an altercation, a verbal altercation
with Burt.
With Burt, yeah. One of the Alabama players when Tennessee fans rushed out there. We're seeing that more and more, right? And when you talk about, well, we couldn't even find these kids, every time there's an incident, there is video, and we do see who's involved. So if we cared enough, I say we, if the powers that be, the school, the administrators, whatever, cared enough, they could find out. I mean, if it was, say, a racially charged incident, you would find out who it was.
100%,
So you could find who is responsible, and you could suspend them for a semester. You could, I don't know what exactly the punishment is for each particular school around the country, but don't you think that would be a better course of action than just saying, hey, no longer can fans ever go on the football field or the basketball court?
No, yes, I agree with that. I don't think storming should ever be banned. I think storming the field has gotten watered down. I mean, I believe last year some teams storm the court after every win of a basketball game?
And that's why, your brother and I have gone off on that before too. Like when I said Tennessee beating Alabama for the first time since Nick Saban was the coach.
You think Wake should have stormed the court in this game?
I don't know. I haven't kept up with exactly the ebbs and flows of their entire season, but anytime you beat Duke at home, it's a significant victory. And Wake I do know they're fighting for their lives to try and get in the NCAA tournament. This was a huge win from that perspective.
No, yeah, I agree. I just don't know how we're going to put this on the kids. Right. And so it's the administration's job. This is that school's job.
Okay, see, I guess that's the point I disagree with most, which was what I was saying in my open, is let's put it on the kids. Maybe we're asking too little of them. There was a time when we could say, hey, you're 18 years old. Okay, your grandfathers were storming Normandy Beach. If you want to go on the field and celebrate, do not make contact with the 7-footer from the other team that's running off, or you suffer the consequences. See, in this particular case, it was a mob of guys, and Filipowski didn't.
Well, that's always going to be the case most of the time. When it comes to storming the court, it's not going to be one person. If you've ever stormed something in your life, once you storm it, once you're on the court, buddy, bullets are flying. You don't know who's in front of you. It might be a little bit different if a 7-footer's out there. I can get it when it comes to football field. If you think you're going to tell a kid who's in college, who's going to a Duke game or an Alabama-Tennessee game, all right, hey, you storm that field, buddy, you better watch out for this, this, and that. By the time that fourth quarter hits 4 digits, that kid is unconsciously drunk. It is the administration's job.
You suffer the consequences.
It is the administration's job to hire security, have enough.
How are they going to stop all those people? How are they going to
enough
stop all those
security?
people?
And not even that, if you want to put it on the kids before the game even starts. All right? Everybody's sitting in their seat. You go over the PA and say, if we win this game, we're going to hold you until we can get the Duke players off the court.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is can we not wait?
And that's the administration's job.
I know Kyle Filipowski is the victim here, but can we pull the clip back up one more time? Did he try and get a trip in?
Dude, this looks knee to me. And that hurts. Knee to knee, that's a real
Run this in super slow-mo here.
Knee to knee. Ugh! God! Oh, man, no. And he's 7 foot. He's feeling that for weeks.
Well, I feel like this may be the incident that puts this whole conversation over the top here, just because, like I said, Duke is a brand name. He's a superstar on the team. Let him be out for a couple games as we enter March, and the conversation is certainly going to heat up. You saw John Shire and the head coach at Wake Forest both said, yeah, this is a practice that needs to end. I couldn't disagree more, but like I said, when kids are this irresponsible, it makes the decision easier and easier.
Hey, YouTube, what is up? Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. If you don't, I'll send this 7-foot tree next to me to your house.